All right, what's up? I am multi-streaming. So hopefully this is all going to work out to the best. I wanted to make sure I got my community on Facebook on this live. What's up? What's up? Um, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shamika Jackson. I'm the founder of Kafune Hair. I provide lace wig installation and maintenance products for individuals who are wearing lace wigs to make sure they have a really great install. And I provide all the maintenance products for individuals wearing lace wigs. And the reason for me to doing a live, I know this is like an impromptu. I normally try to schedule them out, but I really wanted to get to a question that someone had asked on my YouTube page. And I feel as though it's really necessary for me to answer it real quick. So I'm hoping that it will answer you guys in regards to information that you will see and look for when you're purchasing hair, lace wigs. I'm going to read like literally word for word what this long paragraph that someone wrote on a comment on my YouTube page, because I feel as though that's like, it's some information that a lot of people would like to know. But first, before I get there, I'd like to see where everybody's from. Hello. Hey Miriam, hey Dean, Lisa. I see you guys are on the Facebook group. Hey Outlabeled. Hey Audra, how are you? And if you are new, drop a purple heart. Let me know what city, what state y'all from, so I can see what area you're from. I like to know who I'm talking to. All right. All right, so let's get to it. And hopefully I'm able to see any of your comments and questions that are on Facebook or YouTube. So I can see them on Instagram. I see them on Instagram. Okay, Houston, Texas. All right. Anywhere else? I see somebody from Houston, Texas, Hampton, Virginia, South Carolina. Where else? We got anybody else? All right, because I'm in New Jersey. I ain't going to tell y'all the town or the city because no, y'all don't probably know, but I'm in New Jersey. All right, I'm outside of Philly. So I ship all y'all products outside of New Jersey. So let's get into it. So my purpose of this live is to make sure that you guys understand what you're buying and what to look for when you're buying it. There's certain words and certain key terms that you can look for to understand exactly what you're buying so you're not wasting your money. And unfortunately, it's not one real quick answer. So ultimately, that's my goal today. If you can't answer, if you can't go to anyone's website and look for this information after this live, then I ain't do my job. All right, y'all. So I'm going to do real quick on what the person said and how you guys can really understand what you're buying when it comes to these bundles and these lace wigs. It's just so much information. HD, transparent lace, lace tint, like my melt me down spread. It's a lot of information. I get it. You know, so from someone who's been in this business for a very long time, I know it could be a little bit frustrating because there's so much information is getting thrown out at you. And you're kind of wondering, okay, well, what should I get? I don't even know like if I'm getting something good or not. Right. So this is literally what the person commented. If you look on my YouTube page, you'll see like a long paragraph of somebody writing a comment on one of my pages. And I want to go through it line by line so that you guys understand what to look for, what type of questions to ask. And it's really not really what questions to ask, is what sort of information you should know as a consumer when it comes to buying bundles of hair and lace wigs. Okay, so it's not about you actually asking any sort of company or any sort of vendor these questions. It's really for you to know and for you to make that decision on if it's a good idea to purchase that hair or those wigs or any sort of that product from that company. All right. Okay, so this is what someone actually wrote on my page. I apologize if this is the same question that everyone is asking and precisely why you made this video, but I am at this point just done, flat out exhausted and searching and finding BS after BS. And I'm wondering if you might be willing to actually and precisely suggest a place to start to find this information, the terminology, the choice of recommendations, etc. Do you have any website or source you can suggest? I know of yours now and can't thank you enough for this information, your compassionate understanding of others dealing with this, and ultimately in having for the drive drive it took to start your product line. All right, so we're gonna go off of that, right? I'm not gonna make this like real extra long-winded. If you guys have any questions while I'm going through this live, feel free to drop them in the comments. I actually can see my Facebook group questions. If you're not on my Facebook group, make sure you go to the Facebook group and join that live, because I can see Instagram questions as well. YouTube, I don't see any questions. I think this, let me see if I can. Yeah, social comment display here. Click to show them. All right. All right. So hi, question mark. All right. So I think I can see it. I can't comment, but I should be able to see it on YouTube and on Facebook group. I mean, Facebook page. All right. So if you guys have any questions while I'm going through it, just drop them in the comments. I'm going to definitely be able to answer them for you. So she wanted to know the terminology, the choices, the recommendations. Do you have any website or source you can suggest? I guess she's getting tired and frustrated of buying lace wigs or buying hair, and she's frustrated. The one thing I'm going to say for you guys to really truly understand is understand what the word virgin means, understand what the word raw hair means, right? So, for example, when you're buying hair, you're gonna see people saying it's raw hair. They're gonna say it's virgin hair. They're gonna say Remy. They don't really say Remy as much anymore, but that is a word and terminology that you will see. Raw hair really means that it's sourced directly from the person who is the donor. It's literally cut from the ponytail of someone. They take that same exact hair, don't do anything to it at all, and they're going to put it on a weft, or they're going to ventilate it onto a wig. That's raw hair. The main thing that I want for you guys to understand when you're buying raw hair is that there has been no chemicals added to that product, that the hair is never going to look the same between two raw hair bundles, and that there's no sort of like chemical alterations. Now, the hair color could be all types of different. Like you'll literally see the brown tips, a dark root, because literally the hair is growing from the person's hair. So if you're looking on a website, right, and they say that the hair is raw and the hair is uniform, like these curls, if someone was to say this is raw hair, it's not. In regards to trusting that site, me personally, as a seller of hair, I just won't. I know it's not raw, right? So, and it's a big deal to understand the difference between raw hair and virgin hair. And what's happening is, as a business owner, you have to know what you're buying, right? And unfortunately, not everyone who's a business owner is actually researching what they're buying, and then they're going to offer it to you guys. So when they're offering it to you guys, they may not know what is raw hair and virgin hair. And if they want to get to know what it is, I'm not sure. That's not really my job to figure that part out. But what I'm saying is, when you are looking to understand what am I buying? Am I really buying raw hair from this vendor, from this company? You'll know, because I just told you the definition of what raw hair is. So raw hair means that there is no the hair is not uniform. Now the raw hair that's straight, it can be pretty similar, but when you're looking at it, you'll see different hues of different colors, right? But straight hair that's raw is highly likely that it can look very uniform. Okay, so when someone is telling you, I'm about to sell you a raw hair wig and your curls look like this, know that it's not raw hair, and then you choose to say, okay, if I want to buy it or not. Second part that you want to always understand is that what's virgin hair. And virgin hair, to me, is two different definitions. Virgin hair, on some people's businesses, it may just mean that there was not chemically altered hair. Doesn't mean that it's one person's bundle of hair, although some people may say it is, but as a consumer, you may never know. So, or as a buyer, that hair has not been chemically altered to change the curl pattern. So what happens is people will say, well, it's not chemically altered. They didn't put chemicals to make the curl pattern. They might have used steam, right? So what the mindset is that the steam allows for the hair to be more, not as harsh, right? So that you are able to maintain the hair in some sort of way, okay? In regards to the quality of virgin hair versus Remy hair, it just depends. So although it seems like it's an easy question to answer, all raw hair may not be the best, but you know that you are getting something that is real. You're getting something that is from the donor. You're getting something that is fully human hair and one donor, which means the cuticles can be attached and aligned. Okay. So to answer that question is there a website or a source you can suggest? Really, every source and every vendor may be different. And even companies are going to define raw hair as something that it is not, right? Depending, especially if you're dealing with certain companies and vendors that are normally just actually selling you guys a product, they're going to say that raw hair could be this, and it's not. It's not right. It's not true. And the reality of it is, another tip, as a person who's been in this business for the past 14 years, when you buy raw hair, here's the thing. If I was to go to India and I was to source raw hair, and they also had processed hair like this curl pattern, what happens is, why is the hair processed? The hair is processed because people like this curl pattern. Although you may not want it processed, you might feel as though it's lesser than. It's not always lesser than. It's just the reality of it. Some people want different textures. If you want kinky straight, if you want a tighter curl pattern, people want that texture, right? They still want real hair, but they want that texture because it looks more natural for them. So to answer that question, most times a virgin quality hair vendor is going to sell your processed hair, for example, like this curl pattern, more than their raw hair. Why? Because they have to alter it. They got to do something to it. That's their labor, right? So the dynamics of like this hair business is actually different when it comes to the vendors. So that's one of the questions whenever you're on a website, whenever you're anywhere looking for hair, because a lot of times what do you ask? Where you get your hair from? What vendor hair? Oh, I'm tired of buying this type of hair, right? So ultimately you need to understand the terminology and then use that knowledge to go after whatever website you're buying the hair from. Okay. So understand what the difference between virgin hair is and what is raw hair. All right. If you're just joining me, my name is Shamika Jackson, the owner of Cafune Hair. I provide lace wig installation and maintenance products and solutions for individuals who are wearing lace wigs. Today, we're going to talk about how to not waste your money when it comes to trying to find a wig company or lace wig or bundles of hair or lace wigs, and you're trying to understand not trying to waste your money. I got a long email from someone and I'm trying to help her out when it comes to sourcing what company to buy a wig from. And the first thing you want to do is you want to understand what's the difference between raw hair and virgin hair. And once you know that, when you look at any company's website, you're going to be able to distinguish if that company knows what they're buying, what they're selling actually, right? What they're buying from their vendors and what they're selling to you. Because whatever you may want may not be something that you want to make sure that that company is knowledgeable enough to say, okay, this is the price point of this hair, and this is why the price point is that price. Okay, number two, in regards to the raw hair, most of the time raw hair is going to be more expensive than virgin hair. It also depends on the vendors you're using, right? So depending on the company that you're working with, if you're going to be sourced, if you're going to buy a hair wig, majority of the time, if you're buying a quality hair wig, it's highly doubted it's going to be less than $400. Easy. 12 inches. It's not. Oftentimes as business owners, you're trying to find what customer demographics you're trying to get, and people don't want to pay for certain things. It just depends. You can pay $300, $400, $500 for a wig, but it lasts you a long amount of time and you're re-wearing it. Or you can buy a less expensive wig and you may have it for less time. What companies do you suggest? Hi, Marby. What I'm talking about today is how to look for the right companies for your wigs. That was a good question. So in order for me, even as a vendor, right, even as a person who sells lace wigs, ultimately, my job is to make sure that whoever I'm buying from is selling me something that is of quality, right? And in order for me as a seller, right, who has a business, I need to know to ask questions, and not only ask questions, but to also know what sort of questions to ask and what to look for, right? So if I'm talking to a vendor and they keep saying it's raw hair, but it's not raw hair, I'm going to look at that company as questionable. So that's where it starts, understanding what you're buying. So therefore, you're able to make informed decisions when it comes to any company as a consumer or as a seller. That is the main thing. And the second part of it is Capelli vendor a good vendor to get hair from? I don't know who Capelli vendor is, but for some reason it sounds familiar. Capelli. I'm not familiar. Deborah Gordon, what type of hair is it? What type of hair is it? A certain type of hair? Is it from China? Is it from India? I mean, it's so many different origins. Okay. So we're going to start at understanding what's raw hair, what's a virgin hair. That's the starting point, right? And another thing is when you're on these websites and you're looking for hair, depending on the type of company and the sort of knowledge that this company may have, they're going to call the wigs a certain name or something that will distinguish different qualities of hair and different qualities of wigs. One of the ways that you can tell in regards to different qualities of wig would be, one could be, they may say it's a starter wig, right? So starter wig on the most part is going to be for someone who may not be used to wearing lace wigs. They may be, just getting into lace wigs. So a lot of times the starter wigs are going to be less expensive than their exclusive brand, right? And it's fine because it's a lower cost wig doesn't mean it's a horrible wig. It just means that the standards of like raw hair and of that hair origin can be different than the original wig. So hopefully that makes sense. Another way someone might read it on a website, it may say it's a comparable to 7A, 10B, 13, 15, 20Cs, whatever. It's a lot of time that's a marketing thing and it's like a numbers game. So a couple years ago, it might have been 7A. Now, I don't know. It might be 12A. I don't even know if they even do the numbers anymore. Right now, it could be raw versus virgin. Okay. And it also depends on where you're getting the hair from. All right. So whoever you're using, any of these companies are out here in regards to the quality of wigs. You just understand what's the difference between raw hair, what to look for, and understand even if you was to have raw hair, what it includes. And one of the things that it includes that some of you may not understand is that raw hair is still hair, right? None of us have the same hair, and it still has a maintenance factor to it. So irregardless if it's raw hair, it could still be unruly, right? It just may, but depending on the company that you're using, at least you know that the crap is real. Like you can tell that the hair is real. I don't know. Oh, you don't know what type of hair it is? Yeah, I mean, the name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely knew somebody named Capelli back in the day, but I don't think she's in business no more, but I don't know now. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments, and I'm going to make sure that I answer them for you. All right, let's go back to the next part of her long paragraph so I can help her out. She says, I haven't been understanding or of others dealing with this. And ultimately, for having the drive, it took, oh, wait, I read that already. She says, she says she hasn't tried my product line yet because she just found out it exists. And I know that from the others who have reviewed it, your products to know is supposed to be everything. She's just bummed about finding out now. But girlfriend, you can get it now. It's still up on the site. I'm still around, right? So if the beauty supply stores, y'all like my product, you make sure you hit up the beauty supply store and tell them, you need to call this company and have my products in y'all store, okay? Work with me here, y'all. All right. The next thing she said in here was, she said that I am not new. I am not that new. It's been at this for over a year now, but still feel like I don't know anything, or at least everything I feel is valuable, real information as far as the different types of all types of hair replacement out there. But what is really best for what? As in the type that's best for looking the most natural, the best for the longer lasting, and the best times for money is a serious concern, and why or why not of them all. So she says she wants to know why. She pretty much wants to know what looks the most natural. What is a serious money concern because she doesn't want to waste her money. She's tired of wasting her money on BS, right? We all tired of wasting our money. Look, I can even be tired of wasting money with sourcing hair, right? Part of my job for you guys is always to source the hair before I even put it on the market, right? Part of my job, and that's not something that goes away really quickly. It's something that I have to take amount of time to do, couple months. And there has been hair where literally people love that hair, but the hair was garbage and I could not sell it to you guys. So part of our job as a business owner is to actually source the hair, sample the hair, and ultimately, in order for you to know if any hair works, you're going to have to just wear it. So to answer her question in regards to what looks and feels the most natural, that is best and longer lasting. To answer the question in regards to longer lasting hair, in order for the longer lasting hair, it's going to be raw hair. Raw hair is going to last you the longest. In regards to looking the most natural, right? I learned that very early in my business when I had a woman who wanted a 26-inch wig down to her booty, and she was short, and she said that it was natural. And she kept telling me, I want this texture, I want a certain texture, and it's natural, it's natural. And at that point, I realized natural is very subjective. All right. So in order for hair to look natural and feel natural for you is more so the definition of what that hair looks like. I can't tell you what looks natural unless you tell me, Shamika, this is what natural looks for me. It's straight, it's blonde, it's highlighted, it has a little bit of a wave to it, and it's really thick. So, right, so you're looking at density, you're looking at hair color, and you're looking at texture. And then don't forget the part that you don't see in the pictures, which is a fill, a source of texture, which could be what's the word? What's the word? Why did I go blank? Coarseness, right? So when you're dealing with raw hair, and I've dealt with many, and I'm going to tell you guys what real raw hair origins are out there so that you guys can understand it, right? When you deal with raw hair, it may look the same, but it feels completely different in regards to textures. Well, what happens is, as a wig seller or as a anyone who sells bundles who are selling raw hair, what we'll do is we'll try to match the bundles so that they work together, right? So they kind of like go together, right? So you're going to buy these bundles and you're going to get this wig where the hair blends and it's not something that's extremely noticeable. And I will say one of the hair textures that I found the most variety in all one source of hair when I bought it, because I had bought it in bulk, was Uzbek hair. Uzbekistan. It's like Southeast Asia part. I bought some bundles of raw hair and it all had like a slight wave to it. Some was deeper than others. And that hair completely felt different on all the bundles. Like literally, like you really could tell the textures. But what happens is we can request different textures of hair. It could be coarse, slightly coarse. They even have like baby hair, like young hair. They have older hair, people who are older origin where it came from. So to answer her question and what looks natural, I would need to know what she's looking for, right? So you need to know when you're looking for hair and you're looking for something that looks natural, you need to know what you want, right? Do you want something that looks like kinky straight? You want something that's curly, like when it's your natural hair? And you also want to know, do you want something that's straight because you plan on doing something with it later, right? And in between that time of the type of hair that you want, how is that hair going to maintain? And that's one of the questions you can ask. How does this hair behave when it's wet? How does it behave if you was to put any product on it? Does it hold a curl? Another question you can ask, do you suggest any sort of shampoos and conditioners, right? These are the type of questions that you're going to ask when you are dealing with anyone who you think you want to buy a wig from. And especially if you're dealing with raw hair, these are the type of questions that you can ask so that you're able to get this information to see if you want to make that decision to move forward. If you are able to get those sort of questions answered and you understand what raw hair is, because you looked it up, you know what to look for, right? You understand what virgin hair is. Then you can say, okay, well, what sort of decisions am I going to make on getting this hair? If you're just joining me, welcome to my live. I'm just discussing a particular email that a comment on my YouTube video that I tend to get a lot, where it comes with, you're feeling frustrated, you're upset, you're looking like, oh my gosh, I keep buying all these darn wigs and I'm wasting my money. I'm frustrated. I just want to look like a whole snack before I go see my husband. But now my wig is looking all types of crazy because I got this BS hair on my head. I get it. Another thing is its price point, right? So ultimately, I'm trying to answer these questions. By the time you get done this video, you'll be able to say, okay, I'm going to go on this website. I'm going to ask these questions. I'm going to look for these answers under the FAQ or under the listing and see if that product can work for me. And if that product works for me, I'm going to go buy it. All right. So the other part of the question of it is, she says, right now I'm using synthetics because a few times I spent the bigger money for what was supposed, she put supposed in capital letters, to be better, parentheses, 100% human hair, and it was absolutely not. I did tons of research first, especially when it was like my third time, you know? So I'm literally buying these cheap, crappy things that are great for a week, but have to be constantly replaced. And I push that as far as I possibly can because I am as bad as gets financially and panicking about the day I have nothing on my head. But I refuse to fork out hundreds and try another human hair wig until I'm 100% confident I am getting what I'm supposed to get from it. So let's go through that, right? You're frustrated, right? I get it. You're trying to find out, okay, what I'm going to do. Now, going back to virgin hair, just because a hair is virgin, just because it's raw doesn't make one. I think if you get a quality raw hair, that's the best hair. I ain't going to be political about it. If you get a quality raw hair wig or bundles, that is just the best hair. Point blank, period. It is. Okay. Raw hair, virgin hair, which is what you'll see most of the time. And I think most of you can actually distinguish if you're buying virgin raw hair. It's very clear to me, but maybe because I've been in the business for a long time. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them so I can answer them for you guys. In regards to the price, right? Well, I already told you, if you're buying a wig or buying bundles of hair, you're going to spend at least $300 because it costs that much. It's just legit. Raw hair is going to be very expensive. And she says that she's tired of buying hair and they're crappy, right? So once you get through those questions, you'll be able to understand what you're buying. Okay, so let me go in real quick of what type of raw hair there's out there. And here's the thing. The only one I probably think that you might see people who are selling it as hair that's not really is Cambodian hair, because Cambodian is kind of popular right now. So you'll see people saying they're selling raw Cambodian hair. If it's all uniform, it's not raw Cambodian hair. I'm a fan of Cambodian hair, but if it's raw hair, it's not raw. If it's all looks the same, it's not raw Cambodian hair. They're not telling the truth, okay? And not to say they're intentional with not telling the truth. What I'm saying is they may not be informed enough to tell you guys that this is not what raw hair is supposed to look like, okay? So the types of hair that can be possible to source directly as raw hair in lace wigs or in bundles could be Chinese hair. It's not really as popular. European hair, that could be a variety. It's extremely expensive to me. Russian hair, another one, very pricey. Uzbek hair, a lot of people don't source that type of hair or wigs. And the more popular ones are going to be the last four, which could be Indian raw hair, Indonesian raw hair, Cambodian hair, and Vietnamese hair. So those are going to be the more popular ones that you might see in the United States a lot in regards to sourcing hair. And sometimes people might say it's Cambodian hair just to say it's a higher quality of hair. So ultimately, you will understand that as well when you're trying to understand what am I buying from these people, because I'm tired of spending money. Just like this woman is frustrated in regards to what to find, in regards to what to buy. So in her last sentence, so I'm hoping you might point at least to a good place or places to start to get better informed. I trust you. Thank you so much in advance for the information. And thanks again for everything you've already provided. Going back to your site now to buy your spray bundle. So that pretty much was the end of her email. It was really long, but I felt as though that it was something that we could talk about real quick so that you guys are not frustrated. Because I see that comment a lot in regards to people always asking, is this a good hair? And like even my friends and family, they'll always continue to ask, is this a good hair? What type of hair is this? And it's almost like people think that we're like psychic, like we know what types of hair it is. Because what happens is it could start somewhere in regards to like say Indian virgin hair, but once it's processed, it looks kind of different. Only how the most times I can normally tell in regards to not even really quality, but if it was pretty decent, it doesn't have like that silicone look to it, is the shine. A lot of times virgin hair is going to have a natural shine. A lot of times when it's chemically altered, it has like a more of a greasy looking shine that eventually gets dull over time. but it does have a really shiny look to it. Most times the natural hair that you're going to get that's virgin, it has more of a natural sheen and not really shiny as some of the other processed hair. Another thing to look for when you're on the websites and you're looking to source what type of wigs you're buying from a different vendor is going to say, it might say natural curl, natural wave, right? And when you look at the wig, the wave could have a variety of waves. Also, when you're looking for that, natural wave doesn't always mean raw as well. It could just possibly mean that that portion of the alteration of the wig has not been altered. What else? And the best thing about raw hair is that you're able to reuse it multiple times. So if any of this information has been helpful for you guys, make sure you comment below. Let me know that it has been of some sort of use for you guys, and hopefully I was able to answer her. I know it wasn't a clear and direct answer, but it is the best answer that I can possibly give you guys, because it's a ton of companies out here that are ultimately trying to win your business. So you just want to make sure you're really informed of what you're buying so that you can make the best decision that you can. I tend to get emails and texts and messages like that on my videos, because a lot of time the content that I give you guys, majority of it is always just knowledge, right? And it's knowledge enough for you guys to be able to have, implement certain steps so that you are able to really understand what you're buying, understanding what you're getting into. So part of our job as a business owner, part of my job as a business owner for you guys is to teach you, right? If you're not informed, okay, so raw hair is better hair. Yeah. Overall, definitely. Yes, Deborah. My personal experience, my use, sometimes, with products, here's the thing with products, right? Sometimes, you can use a product and it don't work for you. And now you're mad at the company because it didn't work. But another part of that process too is for you to understand how to use a product. And for example, my product, I got to teach you guys how to use it. And if you don't know how to use it because you're not familiar, then you're going to say it don't work for you, right? So ultimately we're going to step back and say, okay, well, this is raw hair. This is natural hair. I co-washed it. And I used, some a little bit like conditioner. I might have left with it a little bit of leave-in, and now it looks beautiful, right? You're welcome, Deborah. So ultimately, I think that raw hair is the best hair. Majority of the time when I have some raw wigs around, they're literally sold. I mean, they're literally taken off my head and my family buys them, or my friends, literally, because they're nice and you keep them for a long time and, do whatever with them and stuff like that. Now, if the price point is an issue, right? So let's talk about price point, because she said she was tired of wasting money. You can look at it at two different ways. You can look at it as though, okay, do I save money and put it away and get me something that's quality? And when I get this quality item, I'm going to take care of that quality item, and I'm going to use the right products and maintain it so I can have it for a long time, right? So you may have to spend a little bit more money, but you're not buying them as often as you may before. And I know people always say that all the time, but it's true, right? You get one good or two good quality hair units, you're going to have them for a couple of years. Versus if you continuously buying less expensive hair, and preface that, lower price don't always mean, a higher price don't always mean better hair. That's why I'm telling you guys to understand what raw hair is, what virgin hair is, what sort of questions to ask, what things to look for when you're looking and you're visiting websites, right? But more than likely, a lower priced item, a lower priced wig, a lower priced bundles can definitely mean that the pricing, that the quality of the product is not as good. I will have to say, on the most part, when it comes to wigs, the lower price product of wigs and hair bundles more than likely means that the pricing of that particular company, it was just lower. It probably isn't raw hair or high quality virgin hair, if that makes sense. There is a lot of people in this business that don't know how to price items. So they might be just basically giving away for free, but that's rare, where that what you're providing for a customer and what you guys are buying is high quality. So therefore you're going to price it as such, not as in high quality, trying to get over on people, but that it's going to cost you X amount of dollars in order for me to pay my taxes, pay for me to make the wig, and pay for other things that come with operating the business is going to have to be at a higher price point. So with that being said, I'm hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to explain, and that you are able to navigate through this hair business or making a right decision when it comes to buying lace wigs. I don't like seeing people upset like that. I get a lot of those type of emails. I get a lot of those type of comments on my videos that they're frustrated, and I get it. And as a business owner, sometimes it is a little bit hard to try to work with everybody, and sometimes that's why some of us companies have more than one sort of collection. So it's part of the business in regards to pricing and trying to find something that can fit for both of you guys in regards to a higher quality unit versus something of a lower end. And just like I'm saying, it's not always bad. It just means that it's a little bit different. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I don't know if you guys on my on my live, if you're watching on replay, #replay. If you're just joining me, welcome. My name is Shamika Jackson. I own Cafune Hair. I provide lace wig installation and maintenance products for individuals who are wearing lace wigs to make sure you have a secure, beautiful wig. And I was just trying to answer someone's question in regards to pretty much wasting money when it comes to lace wigs. She's frustrated, she's tired, and she's over it, right? She's now wearing, she said in the post that she's wearing synthetic wigs, and that she's doing that because she's just tired of looking. And I really couldn't give her a direct answer as in a text message on the comments. So I felt as though it was a real quick video that I can share with all of you so that you're able to make a really informed decision when it comes to lace wigs or hair bundles. Understand what raw hair is, that it never looks the same, except for straight. Straight can look pretty similar. Understand what is virgin hair, and like the definitions, sometimes that can be a little bit of a stretch, right? Also understand where you're looking for in regards to it not looking the same. It may say something of natural hair. It could say something natural curl. The curl pattern will never be the same if it's raw. Also understand that look for the terminology of comparable to 7A, 10A, whatever letters they want to use, versus affordable collection or newbie wig. That will probably be the telltale sign that it's a little bit less expensive wig. Doesn't mean it's a horrible wig, but it probably is not going to last you 2-3 years that a raw hair wig can last you. And I think that is it. It's been a long time since I did a live with y'all. So hopefully y'all can take this information and go and implement it any single time you guys are on y'all lace wig journeys. If you don't have any questions, if you got any questions about my sprays, if you got any questions about my product line, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll make sure I answer them now while I'm on here. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. If you haven't already, make sure you text message, what is it? Lace Wigs to 66097. Oh, it came off. Oops, no, don't cancel. To join my text message group. And also, make sure you, why did it just go off? Cancel. If you haven't already, make sure you join my Facebook group on Facebook, because I'm about to get busy up in them lives over there, because that's where my community is. All right. So if you don't have any questions, I don't see any coming up. I'm going to end this live and enjoy my Sunday. Tomorrow's MLK Day. If you haven't already, I'm actually doing free shipping on my website. It's free shipping. Put on the code MLK. And right now I'm doing free shipping over $45. It ends tonight for MLK. If y'all ask me to say, can you last a little bit longer, I might just do it for tomorrow as well. But right now it's free shipping for over $45 on the website at cafunehair.com. I'm doing that for MLK weekend. So I don't see any other questions. Hopefully everybody's doing well. And I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace. See.